Tottenham are through to face Everton in the 5th round of the FA Cup after a late show saw us beat Wycombe by 4-1 at Adams Park. Wycombe took the lead in the first half with Fred Onyedinma, but goals from Gareth Bale, Harry Winks and 2 from Tanganga and Ndombele saw Spurs through to the next round. David, we never do it the easy way, do we?
No, we don't. Look, I wasn't worried anyway, to be honest. In my preview show, I predicted 4-0, so I was only one off. Look, even when we went one down, I still felt like we were always going to come back and win it. But look, we left it late. There's no, we did leave it late.
Celery Agent, good to see you here. I'm all good after enjoying that win. Blake says, not good enough until the 80th minute, but a win is a win. And Ndombele changed the game. Not a coincidence we get 3 goals after he comes on. Come on, you Spurs. Oh, and Ndombele, he's quickly becoming my favourite Spurs player. I have to say, he was absolutely outstanding tonight. That second goal that he scored as well, David, just ridiculous. There's one touch about 20-25 minutes before the end when the ball was coming like over him from behind and he just touched it down. And he is technically one of the most talented players I've ever seen. James Watson, channel member, welcome to stream as well. Flamethrower and Gillen as well. David, how lucky are we to have a player like Tanganga and Ndombele on our side?
Yeah, we're so lucky. Look, it turns out in the end that was money well spent. Thank God he turned it around and he started to show us why we bought him. The guy is absolutely class, mate. Like that touch you were talking about when the ball comes over his shoulder. Not only did he take it down, but then he does 1 or 2 step overs straight away. Do you know what I mean? Then he goes up and gets a first goal. He was sharp in the box. He finished it well. But then the second goal, Matty. If Gareth Bale done that tonight, or if Messi done it, or Ronaldo done it, or even Rashford done it for United, or Salah for Liverpool, they would be absolutely loving it. Like they'd be, do you know what I mean? They'd be saying that's world class and everything. That's exactly what Tanganga and Ndombele produced today. He came on and changed the game, Matty. He won us that game. It's as simple as that.
It is. He's just absolutely brilliant. Bradley, channel member, saying now I understand why Ndombele is our record signing. What a gifted footballer. Gillen saying Vinicius was awful tonight. I kind of noticed when Vinicius was on the pitch, I think it was a bit harsh. I think it would be a bit harsh to say he was awful, but it wasn't his best game. It's his first start for Spurs where he hasn't had a goal contribution. So it is a bit of change to form. It's not a constant thing we see with him. But I thought we were really reluctant to get the ball into the wide areas and cross it into the box. When we got the ball, we're trying to keep it on the ground, bring it central, and then try and break Wycombe down from there, which early on in the game we really struggled to do. But once we did manage to get that goal from Harry Winks, look, you can put it down to poor position from the goalkeeper, but great goal from Winks. Not only in terms of quality to find that gap, but to also the importance of it. But Vinicius, he tried, which I suppose is one thing. He was picking up some good positions. He links up well with Lucas. But what did you make of his performance tonight?
Look, for me, I thought it was a very bad first half performance. I think, look, no one was at the races in the first half. I actually thought we were pretty poor first half. We showed poor attitude, and I don't understand it because half of these players that are playing, that actually in the majority of the players that started tonight, it's their own fault that they're playing against Wycombe and they're not in the first team being rested for Liverpool. So there's no point sitting there sulking about it. Look, on Vinicius' performance, like I said, I won't really berate him for the first half because, to be honest with you, the whole team was poor in the first half. The second half, we picked it up and it was clear for a while we were just missing that clinical instinct in the box. So he brought on the likes of Hojbjerg at half time, which I actually thought was a shrewd move, Matty. I understand why he done it because Sissoko and Winks were just getting overrun in midfield, so he done it to try and turn ball over in the midfield and be on the front foot the whole time. Do you know what I mean? Because when you allow these teams forward, like the likes of Wycombe and stuff, they will score against you because it's just something about the FA Cup and the magic of the FA Cup. For a little team, like if they score, you know what I mean. All they have to do is sit back and see the game out, and for 80 minutes, Wycombe done that. And then he brought on Son, Kane, Ndombele. But for me, Ndombele changed the game completely. Vinicius, I thought, deserved to come off. It was clear we were lacking that shark in the box. Harry Kane came on, had a couple of chances. Okay, he didn't score. But after the keeper saved that shot, he got back up, played it across the box. It went back out to Winks, and Winks got his goal off it tonight. So, I think Vinicius will learn from tonight, but I'm not going to get on his back. Every other time he's played, he scored more or less. So.
Yeah, exactly. A player who doesn't get a lot of game time, it's going to be hard to perform consistently. So I really don't think you can criticise him for any bad performances that he has because you need to be playing football probably every single week, especially when you're a player. When you're looking for goals, you need to have that kind of match sharpness. And speaking of match sharpness, there was a lot of players who, of course, played against Sheffield United last Sunday, didn't play tonight. Have you gone sideways there? Didn't play tonight. an 11-day rest from the game from Sheffield United to the game against Liverpool because, of course, we had no game at the weekend. This was essentially our weekend game. And I thought, for Son to come off the bench, Kane to come off the bench, and Ndombele, Hojbjerg as well, it does give them that sort of rest. We'll just get rid of David there and he can sort that out. Bringing those players on, they have that sort of rest. They're not playing 90 minutes, but they also have that match sharpness going into the game against Liverpool. And I've got Wolf Mauler coming in here with the $5 super chat saying, watch your lads, come on you Spurs. And Ndombele, the player I'm most excited to see on the pitch. Keep delivering the goods, both you Irish lads. Bale there as well. Thanks so much. Really appreciate that, Wolf. Thanks for the super chat and for the kind words as well. And look, Son came on. He didn't exactly change the game. Maybe the effect we would have hoped he would have had. The same with Kane. But when you're bringing on those 4 players, Hojbjerg kind of grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck and almost brought it back into our control. And then Ndombele was one who came on and managed to change that game. So all in all, the subs were kind of worth it. And they had that element of match sharpness into the game against Liverpool on Thursday. It's upsetting that for broadcasting reasons, our game was scheduled for tonight and only have 2 days rest before we play Liverpool then on Thursday. But we managed to rotate that team. Only one player that started against Sheffield United started tonight, and that was Ben Davies, who was, of course, captained. And, he didn't have really too much to do. But we'll get on to Bale in a second when David comes back, so I'd be interested to hear his take on that one. But centre-backs, I think, is a big problem for us at the moment. And Hojbjerg and Sanchez in that first half were not good enough. They were overran by Uche Ekpiezu, who's a good player. He's a physical player, but he caused way too many problems, and he really should have, because at the end of the day, he's a championship player. And, I kind of worry if that had been Adebayo Akinfenwa who'd started the game, because it was the physicality of Ikpiezu that really caused the problems for us. So if it was Akinfenwa up there kind of muscling everyone about, I think it could have been a very, very different situation there. Mr. K, welcome to the stream. Kenneth says, love we are in all the cups and put in good players to win it. Exactly. Paul saying, job done, no more can be said. I don't rate Winks who got man of the match, but championship is his level. Yeah, look, I thought Winks was really good tonight. People will say, the fact he did well against Wycombe, he did well against Stoke, maybe championship is his level. I think it's above that. But David, I want to ask you about Gareth Bale. In that first half, had a number of chances. He had a header from the corner. He'd one where he kind of beat Joe Jacobson, got it down onto his right foot, hit the side of the net. He had a few efforts from range, and just about before that half-time whistle, he did manage to get on the score sheet. But I thought it was better from him, because it's the first time I've really seen him when he got the ball. If he wanted to take on a man, he just left him for dead. He put on the afterburners and he was gone. Even though the end product wasn't there tonight, apart from the goal, of course, were you happy with the improvement we saw from Bale?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I thought it was an improved performance. It's more like, look, we were all expecting Gareth Bale the superstar. That's why everyone's expectations are so high. Mm-hmm. He's not the superstar he once was, but, if Jose sticks by him, he could very well be a handy addition to the squad. But, look, tonight, I like what I saw from him. He was cutting inside. He was trying to switch play. He was trying to create things. He was not afraid to go on the outside, use his right foot. And he was very energetic. Look, at times he looked a bit slow. But, look, he's getting there. That's what I will say. He is getting there, and it's better tonight. But we do have to remember, it is only Wycombe.
Exactly. It is only Wycombe at the end of the day. The kid says, hi, Matty, love the content. And Rune says, you guys are the only duo nearly as good as Kane and Son. Appreciate that, guys. Really, really do. I was just talking about there when you were gone, David, the centre-backs, Hojbjerg and Sanchez in that first half were out-muscled, overran, and essentially outperformed by Uche Ekpiezu up in that front line.
Yeah.
How concerning is it that Hojbjerg, who at the start of the season was our first choice centre-back, is now struggling against championship opposition?
Yeah, it's not good, is it? It's not good. But first of all, I want to apologise. I had a phone malfunction. I didn't want to scare you. I was coming straight back. I could see you sweating there. Worried you might have to carry it on your own, but you're well used to it. But I'm back now. Look, Sanchez and Hojbjerg, they got completely bullied all night long. Sanchez was an absolute calamity tonight. It's clear why we have to sell him. We have to ship him on and we have to get him out. He's just not good enough. Like, it's only Wycombe and he got bullied tonight. He got absolutely bullied. Hojbjerg as well, not great. The only thing I will say on Toby is he was playing on the left side. It's not his most confident. He's most confident on the right side with his right boot. But again, he should be looking to step up above here tonight. He should be dealing with a lot of them things with ease. They did cause us a few problems, especially out wide, getting down Ben Davies' side, number of times getting in and getting crosses across the box. But that's our weakness, that and set pieces. Do you know what I mean? Time and time again. It's just not good enough, Matty. And it's standing clear as day is why he's dropped Toby, though, isn't it?
It is, and it's a concern. I don't know if it was a tweet I saw if I was watching the stream before the game, but It was actually maybe George Achilles watch along. He said, Oliver Earl is essentially a fringe player now. He's a second choice player because he's playing these games, these cup games, and he's not really getting into the Premier League side as much as he has been in the past. One player who hasn't really gotten into the squad lately but played tonight was Jaffa Tanganga. Then we kind of mentioned him just before we came on air here. I thought he did well in that first half. He had the opportunity where he hit the crossbar. Perhaps he should have done better with that one. But defensively, he was really good. He was standing up on Ndombele down that left-hand side really well. And, playing out of position, he's, of course, by trade a centre-back. He has played on the right side of the defence before. I thought he did well defensively. He didn't offer as much going forward. But again, you wouldn't really expect that from him. And perhaps that is an element that we were lacking tonight with Bale, out on that right-hand side. In our system, the right winger cuts in and creates room for the right-hand defender. And since Bale is naturally that player who cuts in anyway, there could have been a lot of chance to exploit Wycombe down that right-hand side. Of course, with Aurier and Doherty missing, the next best option, I suppose, was Tanganga. First of all, how did you think he fared in the game? And second of all, do you think it was harsh for him to come off at halftime?
Yeah, look, to be fair, I actually thought he had a good performance. I think we're being unfair on the lad. I think when Gareth Bale was cutting inside, I actually did see Jaffa Tanganga bomb forward to try and make up the ground to get on the outside. But when Bale comes inside, his decision is already made which way he's going. So he's not going to reverse and start bringing it back on the outside for Jaffa Tanganga. Look, for me, I would have hauled off Sanchez at halftime. Honestly, he was that poor. I would have hauled him off at halftime, moved Jaffa into the middle and put Sissoko right back like he did do. I thought it was harsh. I thought the kid should have seen 90 minutes today. I'm disappointed in Jose today on that aspect, to be honest with you, because he's a kid that we all believe in. We all think he's definitely going to make the grade at Tottenham. And we all want to see him get more game time. And to be honest with you, I don't think he deserved to come off. I really don't. I think he should have hauled off Sanchez. Sanchez was an absolute disaster. There's a times today the ball was bobbling on his head 4 or 5 times before he even knew where it was. That's shocking. Do you know what I mean? That's clown stuff. Yeah. That's stuff we berate David Luiz for at Arsenal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Paul Markey here upgrading his membership. Thank you so much, Paul. Massively appreciate that as always. Love the support on the channel. I'm trying to get back to James's points here. He said Bale was much better tonight. I thought the rest of our team was stagnant in possession. That is a problem we had in the first half, and we'll talk about the midfield in the first half and then kind of the influence that Hojbjerg had when he came on. But in that first half, we didn't play as well as perhaps we could have. We started the game really, really strongly, but I think when that goal went in from Onyedinma, we kind of got a bit rattled, and I think we were very lucky to get that goal just before the break. But Harry Winks was good in possession today. I thought he had a fantastic performance. Of course, he was given man of the match. But the midfield, it was really slow tonight, and getting out of the back as well. It was almost like, we'll get them eventually kind of thing, which thankfully proved to be right. But there was no urgency, and there was always that sense of, well, it doesn't matter because we will get the goal. How did you think that midfield fared in the first half?
Not good enough. Not good enough. Do you know what I mean? They were second to every breaking ball, and I'm not messing. I know Harry Winks was given man of the match. There was 1 or 2 times in the first half he pulled out of Jules, and we spoke about that after Fulham. It's not good enough. And to be honest with you, my point is that these players out there tonight have let down the likes of Son, Kane and Ndombele. I know Ndombele came on and won the game, but they shouldn't have had to step foot out there tonight. They really shouldn't have. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it comes down to mentality. Like, this is the mentality we're talking about. Some of these players are just not, they just don't have the right mentality. Like, they should have been licking their lips at coming out here today, trying to prove Jose wrong, trying to give him food for thought and the selection headache for Liverpool. They didn't do it. Didn't do it. Came out. They were slow on the ball. They were arrogant. It's like they almost thought, like you were saying, we'll break them down eventually. It's not the attitude you want. Like, the thing is, they made it hard on themselves tonight. If they would have came out flying off the front foot, scored 1 or 2 inside the first 20 minutes, do you know what I mean? That game would have been over and they would have had a field day. It would have been easy, and then they could have sauntered around the pitch and took their time. But to come out with that attitude at the start and let Wycombe come 1-0 up, that's why half these players were out starting there tonight, because of that attitude. And it's not good enough. It's not good enough. When you're wearing my shirt, okay, when you're wearing my club shirt, I want you to wear it with pride. I want you to wear it with passion, and I want you to give it your fucking all. And tonight, these players, like Lucas, piss poor. How many times do you see him heavy touches? Do you know what I mean? Sissoko was another one. But again, I'm not going to berate Sissoko. He's had a good season. Harry Winks man the match, but pull out challenges, especially in the first half. It's unforgivable. Yeah. When you're against a team like Wycombe, you're expected to get in there, make challenges, and come out with the ball. Pulling out with them is not good enough. Do you know what I mean? Then Gareth Bale, okay, he was the best player in the first half, in my opinion. I thought he played well. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's just not good enough, mate. It's unforgivable. And like, people get on to me about talking about players. When you see the shit you saw in the first half, What do you expect me to do? Sit there and say it's okay when they have the thing I love most in the world on their chest? You expect me to think that's okay? It's not.
Yeah, exactly. And Harry Winks, throughout the 90 minutes, he was only involved in 3 ground duels, only won one of them. One aerial duel, and he didn't win any of them. But it was a sub from Jose Mourinho at halftime that really changed that game. Again, we were speaking about this just before the stream, and I was a bit kind of skeptical as to whether or not he should have made the sub, but you managed to convince me that it was the right decision. Hojbjerg came on, and all of a sudden there was a bit of intensity. I noticed it in the first even 5 minutes he was on the pitch. Even if it was just going and getting the ball off the centre back and giving it straight back to him, he just kept the ball moving. He kept things ticking over, and it kept that kind of moving. It kept Wycombe on their toes, and he's in the past he has kind of been involved in like creating things and getting on the front foot as well. He wasn't doing that as much tonight, but he's just so important to what we want to do. When we don't often play games where we're in possession and we're trying to break down the opposition team, but he was just really important when he did come on to like keeping things ticking over as well. How did you think he got on when he came on today? And do you think we could have been talking about a different scoreline if he hadn't been brought on at halftime?
Hojbjerg. We would have because they look, they would have had confidence going in at half time. Their manager would have said, keep pinging it up to the striker, midfielders run off him. Because the likes of Sissoko and Harry Winks, they're not going to want to run midget. They're not going to want to get stuck in and win that ball. Whereas with Hojbjerg, winning a tackle is everything to that man. He celebrates a crunching tackle. He celebrates winning the ball. Honestly, like if everyone's seen the videos, it means winning the ball means everything to him and turning it over. But it's not only that, it's his composure on the ball. When we first signed him, everyone was saying, oh yeah, he's a great CDM. But I was saying to people, look, he's very good on the ball as well. And they're like, well, I don't care about that. It's not why we signed him. But like every centre midfielder needs to be comfortable on the ball, mate. It's just about getting the ball and playing your way out of possession. Because when you're a CDM and you get the ball, you're under a lot of pressure usually. Do you know what I mean? So it's you need to be able to be confident to shift the ball either side, and he's good at that. It's exactly what he done. And if he didn't come on today, we would have seen exactly what we seen in the first half continue in the second half. So Jose got that right. Fair play.
Yeah, I'll get on to Luke's comment in a second, but I just want to say there are 250 people watching right now, so please smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We have so much content coming up this week. We've got a Liverpool match preview out tomorrow with Keith from the LFC Day Trippers. On Wednesday, we've got a pre-match view with plenty of special guests. On Friday, we have a live watch-along for the Liverpool game. On Saturday evening, we have a pre-match show for the Brighton game on Sunday, and then on Sunday, we have a watch-along for that as well. So I promise you do not want to miss any of that. Smash that subscribe button. And make sure to head over to the Irish Hotspur as well and give him your support too. Let's get him to 1,000 subscribers. A fantastic video coming out tomorrow with me talking about how I got into Spurs and my supportership of the club so far, if that's a word. Luke says, we missed Lo Celso in my opinion. Of course, he's really useful for coming off the bench to liven up our midfield in the Prem, but he's also crucial for these cup games. Need him back as soon as possible. It was Lo Celso, Dele Alli, Serge Aurier and Matt Doherty, the players who missed out tonight from injury. We'll go on to Dele Alli in a second, David, but Lo Celso, I think Luke makes a good point. His creativity, his grit and the kind of fight that he has would have been really handy for us tonight. Yeah,
100%. Look, the thing is with Lo Celso, he's good on the ball, but not only that, he gets stuck in. And that's why people like him. Like, you know what I mean? For a player his size, you're not really expecting him to get stuck in and win ball, but he does. He has heart, he has fight. And it's exactly what you need in a midfielder. Do you know what I mean? At games like tonight, he not only would he have gone in and won ball and turned it over, it would have drove us forward. And when you're playing with Winks and Sissoko in the midfield, not one of them are the type of players that gets on the ball and wants to run forward with it. Do you know what I mean? They're very happy to do their job and just keep possession. Like, so for me, it is important, like, you know, that you do keep possession the way Winks does and that. But for me, you need more. Like, Winks needs to be looking at Lo Celso. I've said this before. He needs to be looking at like Lo Celso and Ndombele and seeing what they're doing different and why they're getting into the team and try and replicate it. I agree. Winks had a good game tonight and probably was my man in the match. We do have to remember it's Wycombe. A good game against Wycombe and a good game against Stoke does not make a player. It does not make a player good enough to be at Tottenham in the long run. Do you know what I mean? Lo Celso for me is a better squad player than Winks. Do you know what I mean? And he's right. We do miss Lo Celso big time. We need to get him back. He's pulling Lamela on it. You know what I mean? These Argentinians come here, they see a free pay packet and they go and get injured. Not good enough. Get yourself on the pitch, Lo Celso.
Yeah, exactly. Ken says, want to come with you one day if possible, lads. Big up. Ken, we do live call-in shows for channel members before every single game. We do a watch along first. There will be one on Thursday, but I'm afraid it is open to channel members. But if you do want access to those call-in shows, plus exclusive access to extra content and a whole lot more, make sure to hit that join button down below. And this, of course, applies to everybody. Channel membership at just £1.
Just while we're on Kenneth, I absolutely love this dude. He's brilliant. And he subscribed to We Are Tottenham TV today, I seen. So while you're at there and while you have the card out, subscribe to Matty Hayes. And then you can come on here around 7:15 on Thursday, and we can have a nice conversation.
Absolutely. I highly recommend it to Kenneth and everyone else who's watching. Bradley says, I thought we had a good first half. We just didn't take our chances. Paul says, what do you think of Hart being ahead of Gazaniga? I think it's only due to the homegrown rule. And yeah, Dave, this is something that I've said as well. I think
it doesn't apply in the FA Cup though, does it?
I don't think it, or maybe it does. I think it's just the squad we have chosen. But even in a general sense, I think what I've said is, we have too many players who don't fit the homegrown rule, foreign players. And I think we're at the stage now where we need to kind of choose different positions that we can afford to lose a bit of quality. I think backup keeper is one of those. Like, you could look at one of the midfielders we have. If it's Lamela, maybe get rid of him and bring in an English player. But I think last summer the best option was to just kind of accept Gazaniga probably just doesn't fit into our team and bring in a homegrown keeper in Joe Hart, even though he's not the best quality. Liam says, even Matt and David...
Just on the homegrown, sorry, quickly, Matty. Look, the thing is with the homegrown thing, like we were praised for years about how many English players we had in the squad. Like, we were way over the quota. But what it tells to me is that the English players we had in the team were not good enough to be here. Do you know what I mean? So the thing is, I agree we need to meet the homegrown quota. But I honestly, that situation is going to change in the summer because you're going to have Ollie Skip and Sesame on back. So that's not going to be a problem. Yeah. It's not going to be a problem. It's not going to be an excuse for us not to sign anybody. But like when we do buy English, we have to buy quality English. Do you know what I mean? It has to be quality. And that's the thing. That's the difference. It has to be quality. And that's why we're struggling at the minute, because we don't have the quality English players. We need to start trying to get the very best.
Yeah, there's a difference between Damari Gray and a free transfer and bringing in someone like James Maddison. Yeah. It really depends on the person rather than where they're actually from. Liam says, even in Matt and David, good win in the end. How good is Ndombele? Thanks for joining us, Liam. Ndombele, he's quickly becoming my favourite Spurs player. And I never thought in the form that Kane and Son are on this season that would happen. But I know we spoke about it already. But the first goal was just such a clever finish. It was poor positioning from the goalkeeper. But that second goal, the footwork, and he's just such a joy to watch. I mean,
he's like a bottle of red wine, Matty. So when you buy a bottle of red wine, you have to get it to room temperature. You give it a little while. You just watch it. You let it get to room temperature. Then you pop the cork. You let it breathe for a few, and then you pour it. And you know what I mean. This is what Ndombele has exactly done. He's come into England. He's sampled it. He's breathed in the fresh air. He's got the English temperature. Do you know what I mean? And now he's absolutely flourishing. Jose was dipping him in and out. He popped the cork, put him out there, and now he's absolutely flying, lad.
Yeah, he's just absolutely brilliant. Haytham Al-Batashi, channel member, thanks for joining us. Haytham says, hey lads, what do you think of Bale's performance? I know we mentioned already, Dave, just to go back over it. First half, he was thereabouts, but it's an improvement. It's better. He managed to get in the score sheet as well. He's now scored in all 4 competitions this season, which is, it's an interesting one, I suppose, a good return from him. When I was on the Chairboys Live at Wycombe before the game, they were kind of asking me about Gareth Bale, and the way it just hasn't been the dream return we've kind of hoped from him, but yeah. It was a good performance tonight, wasn't it?
It was. And by the way, Matty, you were absolutely excellent on the Chairboys channel. Absolutely excellent. Spoke very well, and you represented our club brilliantly. So big up, Matty. And everyone else, big up, Matty, for it as well. If you've missed it, go back and watch it. Absolutely brilliant. On Bale, to be honest with you, I'm quite jealous of Wycombe at the minute, because they've seen the best of Bale, which we haven't seen so far. At their ground, they've got to see the best of Gareth Bale, which was tonight. So hopefully now, he flourishes from there and he drives us on. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully as well, it's given him a bit of passion back, a bit of passion to get back into the Tottenham first team, get to the level it needs to be at, and fucking drive us to this title, because we're still in it. We have Liverpool Thursday. We beat them, man. We are still in this title race. So come on, Gareth, get yourself back fit. Please give Jose some selection headaches. And do what you need to do to get back in that team and drive us to a title. There's so many childhood fans here waiting for this to happen, so please do it for us. Yeah,
it's the second time it's happened this season, but the confidence is kind of growing. we're slowly kind of getting to that stage where we think something special could be happening this season. Again, 300 people watching. Please smash that subscribe button for Tuesday, match preview for the Liverpool game. Wednesday, live stream with a lot of special guests ahead of the game. Thursday, live watch along for the Liverpool game. On Saturday, we have a pre-game show for the Brighton game. And on Sunday, we have a live watch along for the Brighton game. Please smash that subscribe button if you want all of that. And head over to the Irish Hotspur as well and make sure to subscribe to him.
While we're talking about subscribing, I have Matty Hayes' Tottenham story coming out tomorrow. I'm not messing. I've recorded a few now that are coming out once a week, but Matty's is one of the best I've done in this series, and you're not going to want to miss it. Plenty of passion, plenty of great memories. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at 6 o'clock and give that a watch.
Absolutely. I really enjoyed recording that video. Highly recommend you go over and check that one out. Simon from Premier Hotspur TV says, even in Matt and David, we got the job done in the end, and I was pleased for Bale tonight and Tongi's different gravy. Absolutely, the two of them. Good night for the both of them. And Simon, congratulations on 100 subscribers as well. David, how important do you think this win was for the confidence and the momentum going into that game against Liverpool on Thursday?
Yeah, you said it. Momentum is exactly what we need. If we would have come off the back of here today after going into extra time and barely getting over the line or even losing, it would have dented, it would have deflated everybody around the club, the fan base, the players, the manager. Going into this Liverpool game, winning today was all that matters. It's important. Not only are we through to the next round of the FA Cup, but we're on our way to Wembley again. I firmly believe this. And now we roll on Liverpool. I can't wait. Bring on Liverpool till we spank them red all over London and send them back up north with their squeaky little accents where they belong.
Oh, I love it. Louis Landner's coming in with the €5 super chat saying, get those subs and likes in. Come on, you Spurs. Thanks a million, Louis. I really appreciate
everyone
that.
Follow Louis' lead. Louis the leader.
Absolutely. Liam says, English quota, sadly, if we lose Ali and Gain Skip next season, we are still in the same boat. I do see Max Aaron, Danny Ings as good squad players, and I believe Zaha actually falls under homegrown. I think Zaha does as well, but David, Max Aaron is a player you're a big fan of, and you know, could he potentially be a player that we use to help us with that homegrown quota next season?
Yeah, look, 100%. I know he played in a poor Irish team, but look at the age of their back line when they played in the Premier League. They were naive, they were young. For me, Aaron's, he was a constant threat going forward. And that's what a modern day fullback is. Not a Ben Davies where he sits back and he can't put a ball into the box. A modern day fullback is a player that not only can defend, which Max Aaron's can do, but, you know, get up down the wing and get quality crosses into the box. I'm sure Harry Kane would love Max Aaron's. I'm sure he'd love to be eating some of them crosses that comes into the box. Max Aaron's a big a player I'm a big fan of. For me, we missed a trick in the summer. We would have got him cheap enough after him going down. We would have got him for 25, 30 million. Like, we went for the cheaper option. We got my country boy in, your country boy in, Matty Doherty. He hasn't worked out. They should have spent the extra couple of million and went all out for Max Aaron's. And you'd have it, not only that, but you'd have your right back for the next 10 years sorted if you didn't ever want to sell him. And then there's a position you don't really have to go and buy in the summer. Especially with Lloris's and Alderweireld getting older. We're going to have to get their replacements in the summer. So we missed a trick not getting Max Aaron's in last summer, and now we're going to be stuck with Doherty and Aurier.
And hopefully one of them will be back for the game against Liverpool on Thursday, because, you know, as much as I do like Tanganga, I think we need an actual right back for this game, preferably Serge Aurier. Ashakur saying, discuss Lamela's place in the starting 11. He's useful for nothing. It was another just nothing performance really from Lamela tonight, and I'm a big fan of him, and I really hope he can turn it around, but I just don't think he can, David. Do you?
No, I don't. Look, I'm a big fan. He's played his part this season. Let's not forget that. He has played his part this season, especially in some of the earlier games. He got us. He was a player that was integral to our crucial run to the top of the league. He got injured. We slid off. He's back now. He might just need a couple of games to get back. But unfortunately, I think his time is coming to an end in the Tottenham jersey. If it won't be January, it'll be the summer for me. Especially if the board throw a bit of money at Jose, I'm sure he'll definitely go. And if he wants to create money as well, I'm sure Lamela will probably be one of the first on his list. He'll be one of the first on Levy's list, actually. I don't know about Jose, because Jose tends to like him. He's
a Jose player, isn't he?
He is. He's a typical Jose player. Like, he's a shithouse. What he done against United with Martial is exactly what Jose loves in a player. He has that bite and he has that aggression, and he does do a lot of work. The only problem is we just don't see enough of it on a regular basis. It's the only problem with Lamela. And for me, look, I slate Ben Davies for being here for 7 years and never nailing down the left back spot. I have to be fair. Lamela's been here just as long, even if not longer, and has failed to nail down their starting right wing spot. So, yeah, unfortunately for me, I actually think we're going to have to let him go in the summer. And if his contract is up for renewal, there's no way we should be offering him a new one. He doesn't get on the pitch enough to be warranted, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm such a big fan of Eric Lamela. I always have been, but unfortunately, football is a cycle and all that. It's just, it feels like it is time to let him go. Simon says, Matt, it was you, David, Sim, and Ben that got me doing my channel. You are a credit to our fan base, and thanks for your kind words. But everyone smash the subscribe button and smash the like button. Thanks a million, Simon. Really appreciate that, and I'm glad you got your channel started. Paul says, no, David can't agree, and Aaron's not talented or physical enough for a top Premier League team. And Louis Land is saying, booed Corey Porter, he's spamming chat. There's an Arsenal fan in here who is slagging us, even though they've been knocked out of the FA Cup by Southampton, and we're through to the 5th round. Quickly, David, before we wrap it up, Everton in the 5th round. I think it's away from home. What do you make of
that? No, I think we'll go win. Honestly, I think we're going into the semi-finals of the FA Cup. I think we're going to Wembley. I'm fully convinced. Look, Everton, the best at the start of the season. Do you know, they had a meteoric rise, and now all of a sudden no one's talking about them. Everyone's forgot about them. Typical Everton. We'll walk down and smash them. And just to the Arsenal fan, you got knocked out by Southampton in the FA Cup. Do you know, a cup that you claim is yours? It's the only thing you can ever get your hands on. Do you know what I mean? The Premier League are absolutely useless. You just come out your box after a few wins against shit teams. But don't worry, your time's coming again. You're going to be back down there, and you're going to be crying. Do you know what I mean? That's all I can say.
Absolutely. I echo everything David has said. Anyway, look, as Simon says, they got knocked out of their own tournament. We leave it there. I actually didn't mean to make this run for half an hour. Thanks for your time, David. I know it was late notice for this one. But look, Tottenham are through to the next round of the FA Cup. The performance for the 90 minutes perhaps wasn't as we would have expected. We did it the hard way, but at the end of the day, we're in the 5th round of the FA Cup. We're still fighting on all 4 fronts. Yeah. The year ends in 1, and you know what that means for Tottenham Hotspur. It's Jose Mourinho's 2nd season in charge. All the omens are pointing to success for Tottenham Hotspur. David, do you want to give your channel one more plug before we go? Yeah,
get over to the Irish Hotspur. I'm on the big drive for 1K. The 21st of January was my 2-month anniversary, so I'm a couple of days over that now. And in 2.5 months, I just want to say, why am I on Matty's channel? Because a lot of Matty's fans has come over and subscribed. I do want to thank every single one of you as well. You've shown me a lot of love and support out here. I've had a meteoric rise in the first two months and a week. So do you know what I mean? Let's make the next 2 months and a week even better. You know what I mean? Let's get to over 1K, and I'll bring you even better content then. Come on, you Spurs. In Jose we trust. And smash the subscribe button on my channel and Matty Hayes' channel. The best watch-alongs on YouTube. Tune in Thursday. You do not want to miss it.
Absolutely. Everyone go over and check David. And again, just on our channel, on tomorrow, we have a preview with Keith from the LFC Day Trippers, which we are recording in about 15 minutes. On Wednesday, we've got a pre-game view with a load of special guests, including the Anfield Agenda and Grizz Khan as well. On Thursday, we got the live watch along with myself, David, and Marcelo. On Saturday, we're going to have another pre-game show for the Brighton game, and on Sunday, watch along for the Brighton game too. We've got a new channel member, Kenneth. Thank you so much for joining. Hugely appreciate it.
Thursday, Kenneth.
We'll be talking to you on Thursday before the game against Liverpool. And look to the 3,100 of you who've joined us over the last half an hour. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you enjoyed the victory tonight. Smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, and as always, thanks for watching.